Welcome back to Quiet Please. Busy day today. Mel, I have a long list of things on my iPhone list that I've been keeping to be able to catch up with you on. You're just back from the US Open. Maja Stark is the winner. We also have a guest today. We are going to be welcoming Claire Rogers onto the show. But first of all, how was the US Open?
Awesome. I just love that crew. It was like me, Anna Jackson. I love it when I do it with you as well, Kira. But me, Anna Jackson, and Brandel.
Not me being jealous over here.
No, it's just you know what it's like. Like, it's just a really fun week, and honestly, we just had so many laughs and like just really random shit happened to us. So we just kind of always, you know what it's like. Like, Chloe was the producer, and so it's just a good vibe.
And all your British girls.
All my British girls, almost too British, weren't we? But yeah, awesome for Maja. Like, what an achievement. And then one of my really good friends, Jeff Bryan's on the bag. We call him Jeff the Puff because he's gay. So
wait, I have a Jeff story for you.
Really?
Yes. Okay. So last winter, Bronte Law was getting married in the Cotswolds, and Marina and
I was
Jeff
supposed to be there.
Okay. So Marina and Jeff were in town for her wedding, but came a day early. And I happened to be there early, not for Bronte's wedding, but just with Andrew, we were there for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I asked you for a bunch of recommendations? So Marina had texted me and she was like, hey, let's go out to a fun dinner. We made reservations at Gymkhana, which is the fancy Indian place in Mayfair.
Yep.
And she's like, can I bring my friend Jeff? And I was like, sure. And it's Jeff Brighton.
Gay Jeff.
Jeff the Puff. Gay Jeff. And Jeff is first of all, a comedian, and I was dying laughing the entire evening. Yeah. But I guess the most comedy that came from that night was from me, because I went to the bathroom after I had one cocktail. I was totally fine. And everything in London is like small and old, and like there's all these weird steps that aren't the size of normal people steps in like 2025. And I came back from the bathroom and took a step that wasn't correct, and I went down so hard. My whole body just hit like big tree fall hard, hit in the middle of the restaurant. The entire place goes completely quiet. I pop up and I'm like,
my God,
I'm okay. And Jeff is like, are you okay? This is the first time he's met me. He's probably like, this girl is so drunk.
Oh my God. Well, Jeff gets drunk after one gin and tonic, so don't worry.
But I loved him so much at that dinner. And I'm just when I was looking at all the pictures, I was like, wait, I know this guy. I was so excited for him.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've not for today. I'm actually want to get him on the pod. We should get him on the pod. But
okay.
I've got a lot of really, really good stories about Jeff. We've known each other for far too long. And so he came from Monty, and then he got on. I was basically saying to him, because he stays with us during the Jim Furyk event, the seniors event. Mm-hmm. Every year. It's in like October or something. So up in Jacksonville. And I just said to him, he's like, I think, I kind of want to get back on the LPGA. And I was like, yes, like, you have to on the LPGA. Everyone loves you on the LPGA. And then I saw he was with Maja at the start of the year, and
now he's a major champion.
Well,
Maja's a major champion.
Maja's a major champion.
But she gave him a lot of credit for, we mentioned that he's really funny. He was literally a stand-up comedian, and he was keeping her laughing the entire time.
He's one of the nicest blokes. Like, he would not say a bad word about anybody. To a point, like, he's almost like the most unjudgmental person ever. So I'm like, just give me your opinion on her. And he's like, oh, she's fine. I'm like,
she's lovely.
Jeff, just say she's a bitch. Like, it's fine. So yeah, no, really happy. Maja just played it out of her ass. Like, just so much composure, and I honestly have not been that happy for a winner for a very long time. Like, I genuinely was like buzzing for her.
Just because of her, who she is, or just because of how incredibly she had her composure on. It seemed like it was
just
so
who she
hard.
Is. Yeah, just who she is, really. I think she reminds me a lot of me in ways. Like, she grew up playing football.
I like her because she reminds me of me.
It's all about me, Kira. I didn't mean it like that.
I know.
You're such a dick. I didn't mean like that. I meant like, she just like grew up playing football, and then she's a golfer, but like, she's not very like, her life isn't golf. And so I think that I really got to know her for Solheim, and I just thought she was awesome, and a really
Oh
good family
yeah,
as
that's
well.
right. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so great.
so she's awesome. So yeah, a really good winner, and then it was just US Open was just a shit show. We'll get into that. I felt talking falling over. You see the video I posted?
Okay, I'm confused. I saw a video posted of you falling down a hill
Yeah, I ate
by
shit.
Anna Jackson, but why was she recording at the perfect
Okay.
time? And two, it seemed like you just were doing one of those like, "Wee, look at me down the hill." That's what I thought at
No.
first. So, okay, please describe,
So
explain.
our runner was called Anna for the week, and she was with us because we went to watch 15. So I wanted to watch the Carnage on 15 but we only got to see like 3 groups because it was so fucking slow. So anyway, me and Anna Jackson are like, fuck it, let's go
Anna
back.
Jackson.
Anna Jackson, back to the compound, and we'd ran up this hill. Me and Anna ran up it like what's that thing in Gladiators? Is it called the? Oh, you won't know. Just ignore that bit.
I don't
Anyway,
know. Do I look like I know what
no,
anything from
sorry, no.
Gladiator
So anyway,
is?
we'd run up it and it was so steep, and so we're literally walking back down. And I said to Anna and Anna Jackson, I said, Anna, you're gonna eat shit in about 3 seconds. And I think the runner thought, oh, I better film it then if she's gonna eat shit. And so she happened to have her phone out, but I'd already gone down like 5 yards by the point she recorded me. I mean, I ate shit, like I landed on my ass and I couldn't grab anything. So I had a water bottle and a Gatorade in both my hands. And so I go down and then I literally couldn't stop because I couldn't grab anything. And then I ate shit and I got air. And me and Anna Jackson, I'm not joking, mate. At the end, there's like you can hear it very slightly on the video, but there was this car, you know, where they have like the stretcher and stuff in case the paramedic, in case someone's sick.
An ambulance?
Yes. And he goes, you can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear him go, ma'am, you all right? And I can't say anything because I've just eaten shit and I'm dying. I'm like literally pissing myself. And he says, ma'am.
Were you okay though?
Yeah, I was fine. He's like, ma'am, good? And I just literally just went like that. I was like, leave her down. The soldier is down. Just go. Leave.
From embarrassment.
I fucking ate shit, mate. I mean, Anna Jackson, I'm not joking. We were inappropriately laughing at that for like an hour. Like we got told by 3 marshals going back for laughing. But and then
she posted the video and it just seemed like, you know, when kids see the side of a beautiful green hill, they want to roll down it.
What a day. Yeah, it'd been what a day. What a day. So halfway I tried to grab onto the fescue at the end because I finally figured out to let go of my water and stuff, but no, I proper ate shit. I went over a hole.
You have bruises?
I haven't even, do you know what? I haven't even had time to look at my bum for bruises. I've just
All right, well, maybe later we'll get an update.
Yeah. So, so that happened.
Okay. It seemed like there were lots of weird stories.
Yeah. Brandel fell off his chair in the compound.
Okay.
I wasn't there. I was out doing encore stuff, but Brandel in the compound just like ate shit. So he just literally fell off his chair and the office chair was just apparently like spinning back to like his desk while I was on the floor. And then Anna, when we finished being on air yesterday, she goes back to her car and I'm like, right, we'll see. We'll meet up for dinner or something last night. And I got a text when I got back to the hotel because it was like 30 minutes away and her car battery had died. And so one of the runners had to jump start it. It was just carnage all week.
Perfect. And that's just what happened to the Live From crew.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it was just carnage. It was carnage.
Why was it so slow?
What, the play?
Yeah.
It was really long walk. It was like an 8-month, like in between shot, like teeing. It was so long. Like it was such a long golf course, like the actual property. So I think that's why it was slow. And it was like 15 was really slow on Saturday because so many players were going for it, then putting it off the green and making like 6 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a cool venue. Have you been to Erin Hills?
No.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a beautiful. I mean, it's the middle of fucking nowhere. Like there's nothing there. Like,
what did you end up finding to eat every night?
Mate, we went to the hotel. Like there was nothing around. Like it's which I don't
bleak.
It's just like
again, nothing against the people of Wisconsin.
No, not at all.
It's absolutely lovely and beautiful.
The beer's amazing. I just
the beer, yeah. I saw a lot of cheese curd content.
Yeah, we had some cheese curds.
That's good.
So yeah, that was my week really, and then I just got back this morning, so I'm quite glad to be back.
Yeah.
3 weeks on the
When are
road.
you back out again?
Tuesday, tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, where are you going?
Wednesday actually, ShopRite. So I'm working at ShopRite, but
Oh,
Carly
the
and
land
Kai are
of
coming with
Mel.
me. The land of Mel.
Oh, good. Okay,
Carly and
good.
Kai are coming out with me. So,
Okay, fun.
how was your week?
Good.
You were in
Where was
New
I?
York being a model.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold
Okay.
on. I have like 2 other things to ask you about the US Open before we move on. Is that okay?
Yeah. Can we just talk
Uh,
about 1 second? This is the
yeah.
difference between me and you. I've come in here like a hot fucking mess. Like I've just got ready, and you are so organized with your. I like it. This is why this works.
This is our dynamic.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Literally, darling.
Literally. Because, well, I mean, I feel like the show would be great because you would just come in and talk about whatever. But I have
Okay.
Mel, I go through life thinking about all of these things that I want to talk to you about.
I'm
This
very
is all
excited. No, this is great. This is great.
No. Okay. Okay, please continue. Amari Avery had her club stolen. Did you
Oh,
know anything about this?
yes. So Mari Avery, obviously an incredible player. My friend Jamie Carlotta's fiance was caddying for her. Middle of the night, going into Thursday night, she's played round 1. Middle of the night, somehow, some way, someone was trying to break into their Airbnb, her and a boyfriend. So they were like, sod this. So middle of the night, packed everything up, went to a hotel, and he was flying back anyway in the morning. So like they both had golf bags and they both had the same like travel case. So he just takes the one that he thinks is his, flies back to LA. She's like probably 2 hours before playing and opens up her clubs from having to pack them up the night before and realizes he's taken her clubs and not his.
Oh no.
So his mum had to fly back immediately back to Chicago or Milwaukee. Yeah. She used Gabby Ruffles' club. So they're both with TaylorMade. And I'm presuming that they said to the TaylorMade kind of technician, which one's closest to me? And he said Gabby Ruffles. And
yeah,
Gabby,
well, they're also USC teammates. They're really good friends. So I think that probably helped.
Oh, are they?
Well, they were. Gabby played for USC and Amari.
I did know that, actually.
I don't know if she's still at USC or she's now left.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. No, you're right. Actually, sorry.
Yeah, so they're probably like besties from that.
Oh, that's
so
true.
that probably helped that situation. But
yeah,
I can't imagine. How did she end up finishing? How did she do?
She played really good with Gabby's, and then she didn't. I didn't think she did very well on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, well, that whole thing was probably not ideal for the situation.
No.
Well, good on Gabby for helping her out.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well done, Gabs.
There were amazing photos of Charlie being super antsy and going way ahead of her group or doing whatever. What was happening there?
I don't know. She was definitely not very happy about the pace play. And I think she was getting frustrated as well because she wasn't necessarily like, I watched a little bit of Charlie and she's hitting it great, but just could not hold a putt. And she was getting really frustrated with that. I could tell she was a bit more animated than she usually is. And then I think the just everything was just kind of a bit slow the first day. Like everyone kind of struggled. And I think she's just had enough and she sat on the tee. Like
she still played well.
Yeah, Ariad Jutanagan did it as well. Like she went up on a slope and just sat there and slid down it. So, but Charlie, you can see her like noticeably like annoyed when I think Lexi was putting. But apparently it wasn't what we think it is. I think it was just happened to just catch the wrong moment.
Yeah. Okay. And then speaking of Lexi, she posted on Instagram this whole long thing about, if anybody was offended by the pace of play. I'm not sure what the situation was exactly or why it was tied to her specifically, but she was saying on Instagram how, her group was waiting for the group in front of them and blah, blah, blah. And there was also a bunch of stuff about she's retired or not retired. And she never said that she was retired. She was just going to play a limited schedule.
And like, she did say in an interview, she did say it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know. And like, I mean, Lexi, you do you, girl. Like, this is my thing about it, okay? And this is nothing against Lexi. Like, Lexi, I love you to bits. But like, if you're not going to play a full schedule, just don't play a full schedule. I wouldn't do a big media press conference about it. I would just lower my schedule.
Until you're actually ready to truly walk away.
Yeah. because it's confusing. And this is the dilemma she's having, is that the media are like, well, you did say semi-retiring. You did use the word retiring.
Yeah, and there was that, like, big video that they posted that was, like,
and we had,
that
like,
seems
a farewell for her every single week. And,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
I
that's
don't
just
know.
my opinion, and each their own completely.
Yeah.
But outside looking in as a fan, I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
as
yeah.
a
As a
fan, not
fan, outside
media.
looking in, maybe not knowing all of the context, it's
I would be
understandable why
confused.
someone would be confused.
Yeah,
Yes.
because if you're gonna play a lower, just shut down your schedule a bit,
Yeah. I don't know.
and if people ask us to go, oh, I'm just like, I've got other things going on. I'm just gonna just chill it a bit. But yeah, because we had like a big thing for her at, like, Ohio, big thing for her at last year's Women's US Open, and
Yeah.
she's already playing another one because she's playing so well. So it's just I can understand the confusion, if I'm honest,
Yeah.
from people. But yeah. So anything else?
Yes, speaking of confusion, I'm confused why I never saw you with your hair
Oh,
down on
fucking hell! I
TV.
knew this was coming. Okay, because
I'm really upset about it, to be honest.
because I had to do course stuff in the morning, and so it was just too much to have it up and down. So I couldn't have it down on the golf course because it would get me in my face.
Would it? I have my
Yes,
hair
it
down on the
would.
golf course every day.
Well, yeah, but you're used to it. I'm not used to it, am I? So I would have been super uncomfortable.
Okay,
And
fine. I don't want you to be super
I
uncomfortable.
didn't have any clothes to do on course, so I was like having to borrow people's clothes. So I was already uncomfortable in that. So
Okay,
you know
fine.
how it is.
I know how it is. I know how it is. Okay, well, you did a great job all week,
Thanks,
and
Kira.
I was seeing lots of complimentary stuff about you on the internet.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Just trying to improve every week.
yeah, you're crushing it. Yes,
So
I was in
yes,
New
you're a
York.
model.
I was a
your
model.
element.
Oh my God, I had so much fun at this shoot. It was the sickest set right on the Brooklyn Promenade looking out over the city. Um, and I had a few funny things from that trip. One was the day before the shoot, I happened to have a random free day in New York, and I'm walking through Brooklyn just to go like get a salad or something. And this guy stops at a stoplight. He's got a red Jeep, all the top is off. He's wearing an Albany hat, a Callaway jacket, golf clubs are in the front seat, and he's blasting George Michael, that I will
Stop it.
be your father figure.
Oh, stop it.
It's like blasting at the
my
stoplight.
God.
And it was so, oh shit. It was
Mic
just
drop.
so good. Yeah. So I had to stop. I was like, you going to play golf? And he like perked up, and I'm wearing my Golf Channel hat. And he was like, yeah, do you play golf? Like, just, nobody gets more excited than like a random golfer on the
Oh my
street when you
God,
run
that is
into each
so
other.
good.
It just was it was so classic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did
it
you
was
have your
awesome.
hair in a braid?
For the photo shoot I did for one
Yeah.
of the looks. Yeah.
See,
Yeah, it was cool.
check you out on Instagram.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Make sure you're behaving yourself.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, the shoot was good. We blocked off a big piece of public land of the promenade, and had to like turn people away. And I guess Jeremy Strong. Do you watch Succession?
Yes. Well, I
Jer-
did. Yeah, a while ago. Which one
The
is he?
actor that plays Kendall Roy, the oldest brother.
Yes.
He was, I guess, trying to like walk by the set with his two kids and was turned away.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
And he said to his kid, the PA said this later, it was like that he had said to his kids, see how bright the lights are? You can tell it's for a commercial shoot. Like, okay, Jeremy Strong.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, so good.
Yeah, so it was good. I had one day at home. So I played my Pro-Am in Ohio, which, by the way, was insane. The Memorial Tournament Pro-Am with me, Amanda, Michelle. We had Keegan, we had Max. It was an epic day of golf. We got both Max and Keegan to participate in some of our social media antics, which was lovely.
It was very good. Very good. We're very well done.
Yeah, we were proud of all our contenting. Then I came home for one day to repack, go to a baby shower, a 60th birthday, and then I was back on the flight, and now I'm in Toronto for golf's longest day. I'm sitting in a random room in the golf club where
Explain it to people. Because I actually didn't know what golf longest day was until about 5 years ago.
So golf's longest day is exactly what the name says. There's 10 qualifying sites today that are all having, I think there's 700 people today competing for spots in the US Open, which will be at Oakmont next week. And at this qualifying site, I think we have 63 or 66 people for 7 spots. They play 18 holes in the morning, then they've got like a half-hour break. They play 18 holes in the afternoon, and here the top 7 people will earn spots at the US Open. And there's a qualifying site in Walla Walla, Washington, in Palm Beach, in Atlanta, in North Carolina, all over the place. But it all happens in one day. And Golf Channel does all this massive comprehensive coverage, and they have a reporter at every single site. So we have a show that just finished at 2:00. And then we'll have a show later this evening, and it's a lot of your usuals that would make it through, but sometimes it's like there's a UPS driver competing or a fireman, or it's a lot of those
really
types
cool.
of stories.
It's very cool.
So it's a fun day. Okay, so we have a guest that we're going to get to in a second. I have 2 more things for you, and then we'll let you go and get Claire here. So you know how last week we talked about who our fan base should be named?
Oh God, yes.
I know you don't check the Instagram account.
No, I don't.
I've been checking the messages. There have been so many messages in the Instagram account with people saying the names that they want for our fan base.
Can you get, what's your top 3?
A lot of people are saying QPs. Okay. And then one person said, and I don't think you're going to like this one, but said the caramels, like caramels, caramels.
No.
See, I knew you were going to like that. It wasn't my idea. It was this lovely girl that wrote into us on Instagram. But I'm warming up to QPs because I've had a lot of messages where it was like they're using it in a sentence.
QPs. Yeah, I don't mind QPs.
Yeah, we could get behind that. I just ran into Ollie Brett, your bestie, on the range here.
The land manatee.
Yes, he's currently caddying for the leader. That's the guy that's leading right now. Yeah, Nicholas Nargard or something like that.
Oh, nice.
And he goes, Kira, love the pod. I have so many stories for you about Mel. We need to talk. And it was like literally his guy is about to tee off. He's leading the thing.
I've got a lot of
don't you worry, Mel.
I will make sure to chat as well, Ollie. So you calm down there, love.
He says he listens every week. So
yeah, he does. Actually.
I really appreciate his support.
He is a land manatee, though. He looks like he's just flopped out of the ocean with a man bun. He's just like the same size and everything. So we call him the land manatee.
A little bit, yes. But I am curious about these stories, and I will be doing my reporting due diligence to make sure I have it
really
for next week.
I have some. Yeah, I don't worry. I've got some dirt on that boy.
Okay.
Are we going to introduce Claire now? Because I've got one little story about Claire that happened last night.
Okay, go.
So Claire comes up to me in the bar because I'm having one more spot to get out for the road. So I've got to get up at 3 to drive to Chicago. So very, I was being sensible last night. And she goes, oh my God, when, on 18th hole at the US Open yesterday, Maja and Julia Lopez Ramirez.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, it feels like last year. We're coming down the 18th. Long story short, poor Julia, skull fucked her bunker shot. And so it went into... I wasn't expecting that. Skull fucked it into the scorer's tent.
Now you're frozen.
Oh, am I frozen? Am I back?
You said skull fucked and the thing broke.
Froze. Okay, well, she was in a bunker and she skull fucked it into the scorer's tent. Okay, this is gonna be really quick. So obviously shouts 4, and there's obviously a shit ton of people there because Maya's about to win the Women's US Open. So people are like duck like that. Claire's sister was like, oh my God, I recognize this side of someone. And she's like, oh my God, I think that was Claire. And this is how her sister captured her when they shouted 4 and she ducked.
Oh my God.
So it looks like she's giving her colleague a blowjob. And he's got, for you can't see it, she's bent over in the inappropriate place of where his todger would be. Okay. And he's got a hand on her back to protect her. So it looks like she's just giving him a massive blowy at the back of 18. While poor Maja Stark is trying to win a Women's US Open and poor Julia is not trying to make 12 on the last after fucking just playing ping pong, bless her.
And this
So
is the expert analysis that everybody
you
is
see,
looking
I
for.
shouldn't be on a golf track. I should be on like R-rated fucking golf. It'd be really fun. Me and Anna Jackson were talking about that. Like we should do
Well, basically, that's what this show is for.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. So
This is your outlet for that.
you must have heard of school fucked.
What?
No? School
What
fucked.
are you talking about?
You skull a shot.
Oh, yes. I thought you
thin. No,
Sorry,
I'm not asking you.
I know what it is. I thought you were saying
No, I've not asked if you fucked a skull.
Okay.
Let's
Delete,
just go.
delete.
Sorry, just go. Just move on. Jesus Christ, Kira. Just move on.
You keep bringing it up.
Well, you're the one
I'm crying.
Skull fucked is a thing.
I know. I've heard it before. That's not
I don't
what
know why
I
you
thought
acted
said.
so prudy. It's fine.
Okay, I'll text you after.
Okay. Right. Here's Claire Rogers.
Okay.
She was great. Enjoy the pod. Bye.
Quiet Please is very excited to welcome a special guest today. If you are even marginally on golf Twitter or golf social media, you have seen Claire's hot takes and her funny memes and her amazing content creation. She's a writer and producer and host of The Scoop for golf.com. She's recently become a broadcaster for TGL, doing all sorts of digital stuff. And I'm probably missing all sorts of things, but we're really excited to have Claire Rogers on the show today, who is in person with Mel, so I'm super jealous.
What an honor. This is like, am I the first person to be in person with you?
Yes, and it was by accident. They sent me outside as I deserved to be, just shunned outside, and
Who's there? Miss Claire. What a surprise.
Okay, so where are you guys?
Great. We are at the Women's US Open at Erin Hills in Wisconsin.
And how's it
Literally on the
going?
range, mate.
Yeah, somebody hits a shank, we're done.
Yeah.
But we're good for now, so.
It's okay, I'm retired now, so you've got no problem with that with these players. But yeah, it's going good. I just came off set. That's why I look like the way I do.
Super hot.
I had a good morning. Thanks. Super hot. Thanks, Kira. Doll. But yeah, what have you been doing? Well, actually, I met her in the bar last night, so it's actually her fault.
Yeah, I know. I was getting text messages at 11:30.
I was like, how do I need to prep? What reading do I need to do? Materials do I need to review? She's like, we're going to be great. Just come as you are. So here we are.
So here we are.
Shoot, I should have assigned some reading. I do love a bit of homework.
I was ready to read a book for this, so I'm happy that it works.
No. This is all about you. You know the story of Claire. Okay, so Mel, do you want to dive in since you're with Claire sitting right next to her, or do you want me to start?
You start, Kira.
Okay.
I've had a very busy morning. You start.
Okay. So Claire, let's go back to kind of the beginning of how your golf life starts. I don't think I've ever really talked to you about your story getting to golf.com and where you are today. The most I think I know is your family hosted Dustin Johnson once back in the day.
Yes.
And
yes,
those,
that's right. Yes.
And those childhood photos. So will you please tell that story?
Oh my God.
And tell us how you arrived at golf.com?
Okay. So I grew up like right on a par 3 at this golf course that my parents are members at. And they had this amateur event every year called the Northeast Am. And it's for like high level college and amateur players. Now it's part of that elite series that they do. I'm like, where do I look? But anyways, okay. So this was before the NIL days. So these guys were like, I have nowhere to stay. I guess I could stay at a hotel, but they're expensive. So the head pro would call, and they still do this. They would like call members and be like, can you host a player for the week? And my parents were like, my mom, I'm one of 4. So like she already had 4 kids under like 12, I think at this age, or yeah, back in the day, it was like 2006. And my dad was like, come on, it'll be fun. So they're like, yeah, like go to the course at 12 o'clock and you'll pick up your player who's going to stay for the week. And the player was Dustin Johnson.
How old was he?
He was 21.
Okay.
Old enough to go to the casino.
Okay.
And
and did he?
Like, oh yeah. The next day his dad showed up. It was like, hey, I'm staying in this town. And my dad's like, that's like an hour and a half away. So just stay with us. So Dustin and his dad stayed with us for a full week. And ever since then, like my dad still hosts players every year. Danielle Kang's brother stayed with us one year. And then the next summer she was playing in the USAM in Rhode Island. So she stayed with us too, actually. So we've just kind of like been this major like host house kind of.
The Rogers fam.
I know. It's funny. My brothers are good golfers, but like I'm not a good golfer or anything. But it was cool to see them go from like, like hanging out, having dinner, and then he would go fire like 5 under. I was like, wait, that's crazy. So then from there, what did I do? Oh, so I read this article at Golf Digest in the magazine when I was in high school, and it was from the USGA, an old USGA president, and he wrote this story. They have this thing at Digest called like Golf Saved My Life, and they write about like not like the competition part of it, but like how it's helped them mentally or something. And he wrote this insane story of this guy was kidnapped and thrown into the back of a car when he was in his 40s.
But the USGA president was?
Reg Murphy, an old USGA president. He passed away like last year, but
wow.
He told this story when he was 70, and he, in order to stay calm, because he was freaking out, he played old rounds of golf in his head. And I was like, that is so interesting.
Why did he get kidnapped?
He was the head of this company, and someone was like, hey, like, I need to meet with you. Will you drive with me to this place? And he was like, all right, yeah, I did that all the time for work. And as he's driving, he's like, wait, this isn't where, like, we're supposed to be going. And they're like, yeah, you're being kidnapped. Like, absolutely. I'll send you guys the article. Yeah. It's insane. But after that,
we're like, wait, we need to dive more into this. But
no, it's
but it is
if you Google like golf saved my life, Reg Murphy, and I was like, I have to work at Golf Digest. That's so cool. I mean, not like kidnapping stories, but I want to tell stories or learn stories about people who have like a connection like that with golf. So I emailed them, and they were like, we don't do interns. So then I applied for a job, but I was like 20 years old, but I got my resume in there, and then they reached out and they let me intern there for 2 summers, and it was like perfect timing. DJ won the US Open, so I got to write that story. And then, so I was hired after college, did social media there with Hallie for 2 years. And then I switched to golf.com, and now I'm doing what I do now. So
wait, go back. So they didn't do interns, but you still applied.
They didn't do interns.
But you
so they had like a full-time job listing.
And you somehow
because
still
I was
got...
like, well, I wasn't taking no for an answer. I was like, do you want to read my essay that I wrote like in 11th grade? Someone was like, sure, Claire. Like, yeah, send that on over. I was like, all right. Yeah. And well, I also like was like tweeting about golf at that time too. So they knew I knew golf. Okay. And I was like, just let me come in for a tour. Mm-hmm. Let me see the office and we'll go from there. And I was like, I have to have my best personality day of all time on this tour and like woo everybody. And they were like, again, we don't take, because they were with Condé Nast at the time and they had like a hiring freeze, no interns, whatever. So finally they're like, okay, you can be like a summer researcher or whatever. And I just did like whatever. Like I would put copies of articles that people needed to edit on their desks. I would do anything. I went to the Travelers, like any project that anybody needed help with, I helped with that. And then I graduated BC with no job. And all my friends had like things lined up. And my parents were like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I got to wait until Digest is hiring. So I waited all summer. Hallie called me. Worked for Digest, which was so fun. Like I learned how to do social media better and all that stuff. And after 2
Hallie
years
is Hallie Ledbetter, who used to work at Digest, who is as Mel says, one of our bezies. She's of the golf world and is a big connector in our lives. A lot of us have Hallie stories. So Claire worked with Hallie at Digest at the time.
Yes, so she really helped like get me into it, I would say, because she like reached out to me. She knew I was looking. So that's kind of how.
So good for you.
I grew up like playing junior golf, like horrific golf. Okay. Like Tuesday mornings they would have junior golf and all the kids would go and play. And for me, it was like a social thing. It wasn't like competitive, but a lot of the guys I played with ended up playing in college. Okay. So I've been surrounded by good golfers my whole life, but I was never at that level.
Are you any good now?
No. Okay. Yeah.
But she worked her way into the system anyway.
Yeah. I think for like the amount of time I spend around really good golfers, I'm like the worst golfer in the world because I should be absorbing something.
I mean, how bad are you?
Well, I just never play anymore. I'd probably shoot 110.
That's great.
Not so bad. Sorry, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. No, I don't mean that in that way.
No, I'm not
saying
saying that. I just like, okay, club
Like, what
head
do you do?
is shut. It's so
okay,
shut.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that won't help. Yeah, no, that won't help.
Maybe Mel can give you a lesson after this or something.
Yeah. I mean, we are on the range here, so.
Yeah, I'm sure Erin Hills would love to host you at the U.S.
Yeah, we
Women's
could just
Open
do it. I
Range.
mean, I'm like, do you know who this is? This is Claire Bloody. This is Claire fucking.
So how did you make the switch to golf.com and like now you host a show for golf.com? I mean, your life has taken on so many different roles beyond just the summer researcher position, putting articles on people's desks.
Right. So Tim Riley, my boss, reached out to me and said, we're looking to hire somebody and there would be travel involved. And that I really wanted to start traveling and I just wasn't doing that at Digest. So I immediately was like, oh, that sounds like something I would want to do. So we hopped on a couple of calls and it just sounded like, they were like, yeah, like we'll kind of let you do whatever you want. And I was like, all right, sounds good. So I started, at the end of 2020. And I remember we were on this meeting and they're like, guys, we need like some more franchises, right? Like things that people are doing. Dylan has warming up. He goes to the range with players. And I was thinking like, all right, what do I like love to do and like do all the time? I was like, I eat ice cream a lot. Like, so I'm slacking my boss on the side, my boss at the time, Rob. And I was like, what if I just like ate ice cream with people in golf? And he was like, yes, say it. And I was like, is that a dumb idea? Like, can I say that out loud in this meeting? And I did. And then I was like, no one's going to say yes. Like no one knows who I am at this point. And so I reached out to Jenna Sims because I was like, she's on social, like she'll understand. So she said yes. We did it at the Masters. And at that point I had gotten to know Bones. So I was like, I'll ask Bones. And Bones said yes. So I think having a few like good, and then Rosang and Rose won the week we did it, getting like a couple of those under my belt with people who other people know made it like.
Yeah, those are big gets.
An actual thing. Yeah. Exactly. So.
Yeah. Who's been your favorite guest on them?
Okay, the most surprising one was Brooks because I was kind of like most of the guys I've had and women I've had, like I already knew. Like it was like, all right, we'll go do this. I set it up myself. I didn't know Brooks at all and I was scared. And he was awesome. Yeah. Like we had a great conversation. I really liked Michael Greller as well because that's just, I think a lot of people don't know a lot about like what it takes to be a caddy at that level, whereas everybody has their eyes on Jordan Spieth. So that was another really one. But all of them, like Nelly was awesome. She told the story about her first ever win when she was like 10 years old and she ate peaches the night before and she was so nervous. She kept throwing them up because she said she ate like 20 peaches the night before because she wasn't making it. So just like people, like I like learning stories like that. It was fun.
So having ice cream opens people up.
Yeah, exactly.
What flavor ice cream? Can you have any flavor you want?
You can have any flavor you want.
What would you buy to ice cream?
I have to go get it. I'm trying to get a sponsor. So
we should.
I know.
Shout out any ice creams out there.
Yeah, I'm very plain Jane. I'm vanilla girl. I'm very simple. Very simple.
Toppings or no?
I mean, it depends on the day, but no, just vanilla ice cream. I'm not like a massive ice cream person.
Okay. What's your like go-to?
Vanilla.
But like, do you have like a dessert that you'd rather have, or you're not even like
cheese?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm a cheese girl.
She's European. Just don't. It's okay, Claire.
Yeah, you're right.
As an American, I like a mint chip, but I would rather have a piece of pizza than a scoop of ice cream.
Okay, that's fair. Mint chip I like because if I have a big dinner, you kind of still have room for like a mint, you know? But I also will never get like, I love rainbow sprinkles, but you can't have those on a scoop because they might get in your teeth. And then the flavor, you know what I mean? So I kind of go with like not super crazy flavors when we're just chill. Yeah.
I feel like if you get chocolate too, that could get teethy.
I always do vanilla base pretty much. So
vanilla base. Smart.
There's an art to this.
There is an art to this. And there is a big art to what you do on Twitter specifically, or X, whatever the kids are calling it these days. Like anytime something in this social cultural zeitgeist happens in golf, there's Claire with just a little zinger always. Like it's so consistent, which is so impressive to me. Like when did you first start posting this type of stuff? And I know that you get some crazy reactions, and it's just I love all of that so much.
I think like the end of high school, they had all these accounts that were like soccer problems or whatever, and I was like, why is no one doing this for golf? So my cousin and I made this account called Golf Problems, which is now like I haven't had the login to that for like 7 years, but we would just like tweet all this stuff about golf. And it got like 60,000 followers, maybe more, I forget. But I remember like Zach Johnson retweeted it. And I was like, this is so cool. Like he saw our tweet and like retweeted it. And so then when I went to Digest, I was like, oh, I'll just do it off my own. But yeah, I would say high school into college. I remember like, I was never like, I don't know, I was sitting in like a neuroscience class and I'm like, why was my grade so bad in neuroscience? I'm like, well, because I was watching the masters and tweeting about it. That's what I was focused on. Exactly. Right. So, yeah, pretty much forever, or not forever, but since like college, I would say.
So wait, you got 4 siblings or 3 siblings?
So the original crew was 1 of 4, but now I have a stepsister who's in middle school, so 1 of 5.
Where are you in the pecking order?
2.
Where do you get your humor from? Are you sibling? Are they?
Yeah. And I think like they also will say like if I go home and I like ask someone to like, you know, you'll ask your siblings like, can you go get me a glass of water? They'll always be like, you think the world revolves around you because you have a cool job, like F off. Can I say that on this podcast? Okay. Like
have you met Mel?
I'm the most unfiltered person you've ever met.
I walk into my home and it's just like a roast Claire session. Perfect. So you kind of I've had to like, you know, get quick so that yeah, exactly. So, but I would say like when we are home, like I'm not the funniest sibling, which yeah,
Ooh.
it's kind of
the funniest.
We go back and forth. I think my little brother is the funniest, but my little sister is like if you're, it's hard to explain. Like if you're out and about chatting with her, like you'll die laughing. But like my little brother and I, like if you're just sitting around, like we don't need an audience. We'll just kind of. But my youngest sister is like, she like completes the family because she's little.
Right.
So we have like, I mean, you see her on Instagram, Kira. Like
she's one of my favorite Instagram follows. Via you.
She's like super sassy. Like she has no time for us. So everybody, it just balances out really well. Yeah.
I loved when you guys took her to the Taylor Swift concert. She looked really cute.
Oh my God. She started sobbing when Taylor came out. Oh my God. I was like, can you stop? She's like, it's so exciting. I'm overwhelmed.
People get obsessed with Taylor Swift, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm not there. Are you obsessed with her?
I'm not obsessed, but I love Taylor's music. But I
appreciate the girl.
Yeah, I appreciate all her music. I think that she's brilliant. I think that she's built an incredible thing on her own and writes all her own music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so wildly talented. But I'm not like gonna, melt in a puddle of tears or whatever. I could be a Swiftie.
You're not Swiftie. Oh, okay. What do you think is like the biggest challenge like to promote women's golf? Because obviously I feel like men's golf is just they do it on their own because of the platform that they have, the media attention. Like, what in your opinion can you do in the media to like really elevate? Like, what's going to make a big difference in men's golf?
I think for me, it's being on site. Like, it's hard, and it's the same thing with like I didn't go to the PGA last week, and like I didn't do my best work because I wasn't there. Like, it's so different being on the ground, and I think it's one thing, and sometimes the best we can do like is to tweet about it or post about it or write about it when we're not on site. But being here is a different feeling, and it's so much easier to kind of be like, all right, here's exactly what it was like to be here. Here's why I think you might like this from at least my perspective. Like, So I think like being here this week has been, I mean, I've only been here 48 hours, but it's been great. And like going out and taking photos and little things. I remember at the Solheim Cup, Nelly and Charlie were playing, and I was in the right place at the right time. And so Nelly lost like 8-7 or something.
Yeah, 7-6.
Yeah. And Digest makes a post of it, and Nelly comments like, "Thanks for the smoking" or something.
Yes.
And I was sitting there, and I see Nelly showing the graphic to Charlie, and the photo they used is her smoking. And like I took a photo of, this is kind of confusing, of Nelly showing Charlie that. And I think those little moments where like people love watching Max Homa be funny on Twitter. People love that. Like, to get Nelly's personality and Charlie's, like, there's so many awesome personalities out here. I think just spending the time to like get to know them, like Angel Yin, I got to know last year, and I'm like, she's the funniest person.
She's hilarious.
Exactly. And so I think just getting that out there on social media more is like the best thing from my perspective that I think like the team at golf.com can do at least.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Even we talk about it, don't we, Kira? Like even being in TV and like, Kira's actually on site a lot, but for me, if I'm not on site, I can't do a very good job to the best of my ability because I don't feel the energy. I can't like hear the chit chat among players, and it's actually a really good point there.
Yeah, and you do such a great job, Claire, of giving the audience a glimpse into like Nelly outside of a press conference. We all see
Mhm.
that,
Thank
the
you.
same backdrop, the same logos, blah, blah, blah. And you see it so much that it's almost something that you kind of scroll past because
Right.
a lot of the time they're giving a lot of the same answers. You've heard it before, blah, blah, blah. But then you get them in just a bit of a different context, and all of a sudden their personality comes out. And that's something that's going to capture a casual viewer that's willing to stop and actually consume the content, which you, like you said, have to be on site for them. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I think like anyone who can come out and then you get it and you're like, oh, okay, makes sense. It was the same thing I remember a couple years ago. I went to a Corn Ferry Tour event and there was like no one there. And I was like, wait, this is so much fun. It's so laid back. If you're a young golf fan and you don't want to, usually if you're at like a major championship, there's 5 rows of people, you're not going to see anything. I'm like, go see these guys and you can see everything and they'll chat with you and all this stuff. And now I think with like Twitter and Monday Q Info on Twitter, like, we're getting to know those stories a little bit. And if someone puts the time in and gets to know these players, you're going to love them all. So,
yeah.
What has been your biggest Twitter beef? Who gets
great
angry about your tweets?
Kira. I really, really try not to because I'm like, now I like know these people. Patrick Cantley got mad once, but he didn't tell me. I heard it through the grapevine that he was mad because
What did you do?
What'd you do?
I don't think it's, to be fair, I don't think it's that hard to piss.
But he's also, every time I've met him, he's never said anything and he's always been nice. So, okay, there was a photo that got posted of him on vacation. You all go on vacation with the Shoffleys, and he was wearing, you know the photo.
I know the photo.
Okay.
I don't think
So
I
he
know.
was
Wait,
wearing
I
like
need
a
to
black
Google it.
V-neck shirt. He was wearing a black V-neck shirt and like big khaki shorts.
Yeah.
And to be fair, this photo was going viral. I didn't go find this photo to tweet it. People were tweeting it. And the day before, he and Hugo Boss had split up. So I tweeted, Hugo Boss saw this look and dipped. and again, like I didn't think anything of it because I went.
Well, you looked terrific.
He saw it.
You looked bad though.
Yeah.
You had every right.
And again, I think he's got some great looks, but I was just like, come on, I don't want to get canceled.
All right, we'll go with that. Yeah, some vacation.
But again, and I was at this was a while ago because it was at LACC. Somebody came up to me from the scene and was like, he really didn't like that. And I was like, I've tweeted 40 times since then. Which one are you talking about? And they're like, the outfit one. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like,
are we talking
I went to my coworkers and I was like, do I apologize? They were like, no, just let the moment. He'll forget. I'm like, all right. I'm like, someone else needs to do something worse so that I get like off the totem pole.
It'll be sweet something to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Have you been on the golf course yet this week?
I have.
What do you think?
Love it.
Yeah.
I like a big walk.
What would you shoot here?
500.
She just
the ninth hole is my
she would
favorite.
quit.
I went out and did a whole thing today about it.
You did?
Yeah.
What is your take? I just love the short par 3 and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, they're beautiful. I'm like, yeah, but when I was a kid, I could reach that in regulation. That was the only one.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really liked them. Short par 3s, and that one just caught my eye. So I went and watched a couple groups go by. The green's insane.
Yeah.
And I think once
the big narrative this week here, if you've been watching me on TV, which I'm sure you have been, is that it's a big golf course this week. Thanks. Cheers, babes. It's a big golf course this week, but the actual golf hole that has been it's been talked about a lot about the length, hasn't it? But the actual golf hole that everyone's talking about happens to be the shortest hole golf course.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
But it's going to cause it's going to be a shit show, I think.
Yeah. I'm excited. And I saw. I am.
I love a bit of drama now.
Yeah.
Taylor loves the
Victor Hovland said something 2 days ago in his presser. He was like, short par 3s are the best. And then I think Justin Thomas said like yesterday, it's got to be under 200 yards to be a good par 3. So I'm excited.
This is Kira's favourite subject I'm going to get onto now. Have you been to the merch yet? What did you buy? Did you buy the Yeti thing?
Yes, but that's not all I bought.
Okay.
So I have a problem with like merch. If you go to my apartment,
Claire, I
I'll
always see you at merch. I feel like
she buys really cool merch.
She always, you have such a great eye for not just merch, but the merch.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't wear because they don't like outfit me for work. So like I'm not wearing like a collared shirt. Like I rather wear like a sweatshirt or something. So I went in and I was like, I'm not bringing my wallet because then I can't buy anything. They take Apple Pay. So I did that. I bought a sweatshirt. I get my dad a hat at every tournament I go to. I'm like, you raised me, paid for my college tuition, you can get a hat at every tournament. Yeah. 32.
So nice of you, so generous.
Damn, $32.
But they thought I was a player, so they gave me so I look like a player, don't I?
Yeah. I have Claire.
Yeah. I had the inside the ropes, and I think that bright green is like the red there. Yeah. the next day I had to go back because my sister saw the Bigfoot thing. And I was like, oh, what about that discount? They're like, what discount? I was like, oh, never mind.
I've already overused that.
So I usually get a hat, and I like to get a sweatshirt because I'm like, I'll wear that on my walk.
Yeah.
It's a good sweatshirt. Yeah, that's what I got. And the shirt, I got a text from my cousin and my sister, and they wanted the Bigfoot shirt. So I got that.
Yeah,
But you take orders from the fam or from friends if they want stuff.
Yeah, but like sometimes when I'm at the Masters, like someone who like dumped me in 8th grade will be like, hey, like, can you give me a pullover? I'm like, are you kidding me? Absolutely not.
Or they'll ask you for tickets.
Like, yeah.
Like, hey, I haven't talked to you in 15 years. Any chance you can get me Masters tickets?
No, literally. I'm like, I wish.
Like, I can't get Masters tickets for my family.
Just talk about you being a player there. Kira, you know me, I don't normally look like this. Got my hair done, all that stuff. Look like a woman.
I don't know. I'm seeing you in makeup more and more these days. Just saying.
So I went out on the putting green today, and they're like, "Mel, can you sign my autograph?" I was like, "Oh God, this is awkward." I was like, "Yeah, fine." So I'm signing away, and they're like, "Oh, play well today. What time are you out?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm out in about 15 minutes." I just didn't want to correct them.
Yeah.
So they're probably out looking for me right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here you are.
And they saw you in your full hair and makeup?
If they ask, I'll say I saw you on the range.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, full hair and makeup. I was like this. I didn't have a caddy or anything near me. And I said, oh yeah, but no, you've got golf shoes on. I was like, oh yeah. I said, 15 minutes, I think. And then I went back up to the TV compound.
They're probably like, wow, she looks really put together for her round of golf. Let me tell you.
What is going on? Yeah, I know. All good fun. I really want someone to shank it now.
Now, do you think they will?
No. What's your view? Can you describe the view so that if someone's listening, they can know what you're looking at?
So there's a massive generator next to us, which is ideal for recording podcasts.
Yeah, apologies to anyone listening in their car right now.
Yeah.
We're on the far right side of the range.
Yeah, far right side of the range. All the players are up there.
How many yards is that from us?
Probably 70 yards. It's like a full set line. Yeah. And then we're basically in a tent because they kicked me out of the media centre. So, and then I turned around a corner and Claire was there. So that's why we're doing it together.
Yes.
And you guys look very, very well lit based on the pure white background behind you and the white sweatshirt.
I know. But yeah, no, it's pretty idyllic around here. So,
Claire, I know you like to ask questions in press conferences time to time. What has been one of your favorite press conference moments that you helped spur? Because you don't always ask the birdies and bogeys questions. You ask what book are you reading, or what are you doing off the course?
Yeah.
Or responding to some situation that's going on in golf culture life.
Yes. Rory and Tiger are my two favorites to ask, but it took me like a year to ask them a question. The first time I asked, I was like this. I was like, I'm gonna faint. My heart was beating so bad because it's like scary. I'm like.
It is scary because everyone just turns and looks at you, including the player.
Yeah, I'm like, don't look at me. Yeah. Okay, Rory. I liked asking Rory how he was gonna prep, or not prep, but like what he was gonna do on Sunday before the final round, and that's when he said he was watching Zootopia with Poppy, like those fun moments. But I think my favorite one was at the U.S. Open last year. Tiger had said that Charlie was like his swing coach for the week, and kind of left it at that. So I was like, okay, like what exactly is he doing that's swing coach-esque? And he like went on for like 2 minutes about how like he's actually helping him. It's not just like having your kid there. He was like, he's seen my swing more than anybody, and like his eye like understands my swing. He sees me in the backyard. He sees me here. So I think that that might have been my favorite one, just because sometimes, when you ask a question and they give you like 2 words, I'm like, oh my God, this is so
the worst.
Yeah, it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, give me like 30 seconds and I'll be happy. So that was a long answer. Yeah, I think those two would be my favorite. But Rory also always gives good answers, so he's kind of
Rory's not one for a 2-worder.
Yeah.
No, he's very thoughtful, isn't he? He's good to read it. Have you ever like put out a tweet or like put out something on social media and you thought, don't take that a bit too far there?
Yeah, I deleted something a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because sometimes I'll tweet something and I'm like, you know what, that was negative and I don't want there to be like negativity on my page. Okay. But not it was Gary Player saying like he hasn't broken his age or has broken his age for the last like 25 years every round. And I tweeted like, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. And I was like, if you saw that, like, I just don't want to have like, I don't want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That's what must be so
you don't want Gary Player to hate you.
Yeah.
That would be great. It's like, because you're so funny and like you are very different to a lot of like the kind of average, or I should say the stereotypical media, like it must be quite difficult to like really get your personality across, make it funny but not highly offensive.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll like text it to my coworkers Dylan and Sean, and I know it's bad when they go, well, I wouldn't tweet that, but you definitely would.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hold off on this one.
I love that. But you have such a clever way. I mean, I know we talked about how you became funny and humor and stuff, but you just have such a funny way of twisting it or putting it into a play on words. I don't know. How do you even?
I stopped taking ADHD medicine.
Oh, what's that?
I used to take it so I could focus to take like exams in college, and I was like, I'm not really funny when I have this.
Yeah, good.
And so I stopped. I was like, I don't need this to go to a golf course. Are you kidding me? And then I was like, oh, now my brain is just
No way.
yeah. So I think the funnier things.
Do you have ADHD?
Yeah, bad. Yeah, they told me
Really?
in second grade that I had it.
Really?
And you
Which is
and
weird, 'cause
you,
usually
you
it's like
still
boys.
deal with those types of symptoms in
Oh my
everyday
gosh,
life.
yeah. But I wouldn't say it's like, I feel like it's become like in college it was hard. Like you're sitting there like, oh my God, this
Right.
class is so long. I can't sit through this. But now I think it's been like the best part of working in golf because like my brain is like just thinks of things differently than like,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in like the golf space like has their own lane that they're in. But I'm like, all right, like this is like a thing that I've found. And I think it's because I've just like
So your brain is just going
a million bucks. Yeah.
Mm.
I've got a bit of it.
Yeah.
I've got a bit
I
of
feel like the best people do. So
it. Yeah, I've got it.
Oh,
then.
maybe I do too then.
yeah, we all
Kira
have
definitely has it.
Tell us about TGL. You crushed
Oh
it
my
this
gosh.
year with TGL,
Thank you.
and that's a whole new world.
Yeah.
So for those
Yes.
that don't know what it is, it's the indoor simulator golf league, and
Mhm.
Claire actually went and every single time and can tell you a lot more about it.
Yes,
How big is that screen?
massive. Have you been in there?
No, I've never been
Oh,
there.
it's
It's
so
massive,
big.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's really big, and it's interesting because where they're hitting from, there's actually then dips, and then it goes all the way up. But so I had never done live stuff before, and I remember I think I texted you, Kira. I was like, "This is the scariest thing I've ever done." It's like because my thing was like I wasn't worried I was going to say the wrong thing. I was just like having symptoms of anxiety while I was doing live TV, and I was like, I don't like the lights. I don't like it was like a big learning curve, and like when I'm filming the scoop. If I say something wrong, I just look at my producer and like, we're cutting that.
Right.
And here
Yeah.
it was kind of like, oh, I stumbled over my words. I need to like slow down and in the moment. I mean, you guys know better than anyone. It's like
It's
I
a
don't know. It's
physical
so different.
experience. It's like it's a
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
different. Like your body
Yeah.
is in it.
Yeah.
You have to
Totally.
overcome what
Especially
your
the
body's
first time you
doing.
do it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if I noticed I was not getting the question out the right way, that was the problem at the beginning. I would like look at these questions I had and I'd be like, now I have to memorize every single one and look at the person.
Oh my God, me and you were the same.
And I was like, and finally they were like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
just have a conversation.
I know. Oh God, I'm like that.
Yeah.
I'll sometimes write I think I've spoken to you about this, Kira. I sometimes write so much word for word. And
I
I'm
used to
trying
do
to
all of
look at
that
it.
too in the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's a
I know,
security
it's like
blanket
track of
thing.
train of thought. Yeah.
No, yeah, I probably had 500 words on an index card, and Tommy Fleetwood looks at me and goes, "Nice notes." It's like, oh my God.
Tommy.
And you're just like, "Oh my God, now I lost my freaking question."
Wait,
This is
Claire,
page 262.
Mel, can you tell? Sorry, quick interruption. Can you tell Claire the Tommy Fleetwood chant and see how she says it?
Oh, okay. Ryder Cup in Paris. Okay, I'm going to do a chant and I want you to repeat it back to me.
Okay.
Okay? Because my
I
wife
think I know which one.
and Kira just can't do it for the life of them. So I want to see if it's an American thing. So it's Tommy, 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 Fleetwood.
I feel like I'm singing.
You can say it.
Tommy, 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 Fleetwood.
Oh my God, it's an American thing.
I can't do it.
No, you guys take an extra step. Anyway,
I don't know what we're doing. I can't hear what she
it
is
doesn't
so
sound right
offended
to me.
by.
I'm very offended.
Yeah,
by
it
it.
sounds the
Tommy,
same.
Tommy,
Yeah.
Tommy.
But I think I'm also like
Oh,
toned
see,
deaf.
this is Akira. Look,
Tommy, Tommy,
It's
Fleetwood.
she has a
Fleetwood?
lesbian voice on.
Okay, sorry.
She like brings
Continue.
it down an octave.
Here she goes. Back to
Tommy.
game, Kira. Miss America's back.
Yep.
Okay, anyway,
Oh,
so tell us
gosh.
about TGL.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yes. I will say, like, I actually watched you, Kira, because I was like, all right, it's also awkward, like, standing with a mic.
Mhm.
I'm like, sitting down, I can do, it's fine. But when you're standing there, so I was like, okay, how is Kira standing? Like, she's a pro at this.
She,
Oh, God.
Pro.
Yeah.
She invented it.
Well, she has, like, one leg out.
Yeah, she
You're
makes
like a
her
little
body look amazing.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
Like,
What?
Yeah.
she's like, you can't see me because I've got the background's not great.
I can't see
Yeah,
you at all. I can barely see your head.
Yeah. Where meanwhile, the first time I'm like standing like this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
come on. Dude, all hunchback. Yeah. I do that.
But it was really fun, and I got to know the players. I think that was another good thing. Like,
So what was your job exactly?
Yes, so I was the like alternate stream host. So it was low stakes,
Okay.
but I would. So during the match, I would like go into the stands, and they'd have celebrities, other athletes, influencers, that kind of thing there, and I would chat with them. The way I said influencers. And I would chat with them, and I'd ask them, like, what are your first impressions of TGL? Yada, 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 that thing. Then my favorite part was at the end of the match, I would go interview the winning team, which Boston Common never won a single match. So at the end of the season, I'm like, I never even got to interview you guys. Like, and I'm from Boston. I was like, this would have been so fun to go back and chat with you guys. But so that was fun. And I'd get like 5 minutes with them. And then I also did like a lot of, we did like a pregame show every week, and then random stuff like fun, like social ideas, like a walk-in where I pretended I was a player, and just like little things like that to like kind of bring attention to it.
It seems to be a common theme here if you're pretending to be a player.
How did it come about?
Oh, so they announced TGL, and then they announced Matt Levine was like in it, and I was like, I'm just gonna DM him. So I said, "Hi, I'm Claire Rogers. Can I be involved in TGL?" He was like, "Hey, yeah, sure." He was like, "Why don't we stay in touch?" Then it gets backed up for a whole year, and I get. I literally sent a text to my friend. I was like, "I want to be the Amanda Balionis of TGL." And then like they had like this, Boston Common thing, and I was like, I'll just get like super into Boston Common, and they'll like can't ignore me. So then we call it like bidding too close to the sun. Like, so we did. Kira, I saw you hosted that thing at Fenway.
Yeah.
And so I got invited to that, but I wasn't involved in TGL. They're like, yeah, you like golf, you live in Boston, you can come. And I was like, I need to like again like bring it so that they remember me. So it was a great night. Went to that, and then like 8 months later, probably got a call from someone at TGL, and they were like, we kind of maybe have this gig for you, but we're also not sure. And then like a week later, he's like, no, I don't think it's going to happen. I was like, no, like I already told my friends this is happening.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it, Claire. You're such a great lesson in just making your own, because we get asked all the time, how do you get into golf media? How can I do this? Blah, blah, blah. And you are such a great lesson in just, you have to forge your own path and bug people until they let you do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Piss them off enough that they're just like, right, just shut up.
Exactly. That's kind of what I do.
Theory.
Thank
it's
you.
Not bad way to go about.
Yeah, I liked TGL. I thought it's different being in there because I honestly wasn't even like watching every moment of the match, because I'd be like, all right, we're going to talk to this person and then this person. But I would like watch it back on TV sometimes just to see it. And I thought it was, I think of it as like entertainment more than golf, I would say. I liked seeing like the personalities come out a little bit. So I think that was the main thing. But I want to get some of the women involved. Not that I'm calling that shot. Like, I want to do this. I think they need to do it.
I know. I think there's a little bit of a discussion about it.
Yeah.
But we'll be seeing. What do you think, like, if you had a magic wand, what would you like to change about golf?
Ooh.
Mel with the hard-hitting
I'm
questions
today. I'm
today.
trying to think on like what level I would want to. Oh my gosh, I need to think about this for a second. What would I change? You know what I think I would change? Like, and this is because I'm like from New England. I spend a lot of time on the like country club bro thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think so many of my friends who are like, I'm friends with these wonderful women from college and high school, and they're like, I want to go to the range. I don't know what to do. The second I get there, I'm intimidated and want to like, whatever. And I'm like, those guys are like a 15 handicap. Why are you scared? Like, we're over here. I'm saying that as a mom. I'm like they're bad. Like, don't even worry about it. But I think like the intimidation factor for women is such like it keeps them from like, I don't know, going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's difficult for women anyway. We're a little bit more like aware, aren't we? And emotionally aware. And so like, we've talked about this so much like before, haven't we, Kira? Like even me as like a professional, I get intimidated sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. Or, yeah. Well, I get told off my shorts quite a lot. I'm a bit short at country club.
That's so annoying.
I mean, I'm probably a little bit old to be wearing them.
No.
You're not. You're
out.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I think little things like that.
I think that it's always important for people to realize that golfers on the range are all super selfish and thinking about themselves, and no one is thinking about you. So,
and I think like if girls knew that there's such a massive difference in talent between what you're seeing on TV and what the guys at the range are doing that
Whole new world.
You wouldn't be that inscared. Yeah.
I would make it 12 holes.
What do you mean?
I'd make golf.
You make
Oh my gosh,
that would be
I
nice.
I
agree.
like that.
I was
I
just
think
having this
18's way too
conversation
many.
yesterday because
I'm
Michelle,
tired.
Amanda, and I played in the Workday Pro-Am,
Oh my
and
gosh.
at hole 12, we were done.
Dude.
Like, we have
What
to do
holes did the TikTok come on?
probably 12.
With Max. Yeah, that was the best. No, it's true, especially with days like that where it's going to be a slow round.
Yeah. No, I just, even on tour, I was like, God, it's just getting a bit much now for me.
Yeah.
Who has
18
time
holes.
for
I'd do
18
12
holes? It's forever.
Well, it wasn't originally like 24 holes or something stupid.
Yeah.
And then they got it down and like the 17
So you should do another cut.
Exactly.
I was
And
doing
then
some
you
light
get down
reading
again.
yesterday. Herbert Warren Wynn's book, the Great American History of Golf or whatever.
Wow,
Well,
that's not
that
light
is
reading.
I was reading it on the plane.
Oh my
Apparently,
God,
the first golf course laid out in America was 3 holes
Ooh.
in upstate
That's
New
a
York,
fun fact.
in Yonkers.
Play
Yeah,
that a
just
couple
saying.
times, get up to 12.
Well, yeah, but golf was invented in Scotland, Kira.
Yes, I know, but there is some debate if it was the Netherlands
it's
or
real.
Scotland, because there is a word recorded in the Netherlands back in BC of
I
golf.
apologise for how nerdy she
Sorry,
is.
this is Mel.
I
Never mind.
apologise how nerdy
Moving
she
on.
is. It's supposed to be a fun podcast. This isn't a golf
Wait,
podcast.
that's interesting. I'm going to look into this.
Yeah.
I'll send you the
You should
book.
go to the Netherlands and do a story on it.
Right?
Come, Solheim Cup.
Oh,
It's in the
The
Netherlands.
birthplace of
perfect.
golf.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just start doing that, and like St. Andrews will come after you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, we need to add you to the girls' golf trip. We've not been on one yet, or
Alright.
organised, but we will get you.
All right, we'll just fix the clothes.
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can fix. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll only play 12 holes.
Perfect.
And that's
It'll be good.
max.
Yeah.
Like maybe 9 holes.
Yeah. So then, your 9 then becomes 6.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay. In fact, we'll go play golf all this
Perfect. Claire, do you recall when I ran into you at the Augusta airport this year and you told me you had arrived for your 3-week or whatever it was, 2-week study abroad
Semester
trip to
abroad.
Augusta?
Yes. I was in Augusta for so
Oh my God,
long.
you were, weren't you?
I
I
got
was there
on
that whole
March
time too,
31st,
so
and I left.
I feel you.
I left like was it the 15th? We were there for so long. And I know I was there for a long time because I had to do self-tanner like 4 times. We only did it one time at a trip.
I was doing a lot of
I was like,
laundry.
it already came all off. I have to do it again.
Oh, that's
Just
so
hate
funny.
it. So yeah, laundry. You also the best food in Augusta is like at Augusta. I felt like I'd gone to every restaurant by like the final round of the women's am. So,
So
then it was,
yeah, well, there's not a lot to do with it.
No.
Just apart from
yeah, I'm
golf
trying to think.
course, is it?
We went to my
How did you plan that many outfits? I know.
Oh.
Don't get Kira started on that.
So you see what I'm wearing now. You
Yeah.
see what I wear. This is like a different ball game for me for the Masters. That's the one time a year I like try and bring it a little bit. So I have a list on my phone of all like when you tag a brand, Kira, or Amanda tags a brand that you had an outfit from, I write it down in my notes, and I'm like, that's a brand I should look at.
Influencing.
Yeah,
Woo!
and then so look at, I'll show you. I have this whole thing, and I'm like, okay, I'll start out and go.
I want to
look
hear
at
what
all
you've
these.
written down. Can you read?
my
Oh
God.
my God. Wait, read some of the brands.
But it's also Stod, Veronica
Yes.
Beard, Tuckernuck, Rami Brook, Mac Ju. Well, some of them are like dresses too, like if I have a wedding to go to or something.
Oh, MacDougall.
Pistola Denim, yep. Dolce Vita, I saw that one on TikTok. Mango, Alice and Olivia, Hill House. Yeah, so there's a bunch in here. But
Yeah,
that way,
that-
if I'm
those
like,
are all
I
the
need to get
greatest
an
hits.
outfit,
Yeah.
I go to those.
Look at you, Kira. You're influencing.
Yeah, you really are. Growing the game.
Just outfits and closed-toed shoes, as long as I
But
can
also,
do
I
that.
actually didn't wear good outfits for the N1.
Really?
I was like, I can't buy 14 outfits.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, but you
She gets
can,
it
Claire.
shipped over.
Yeah, you
She
can.
got-
Next year.
She bought. Didn't you buy? Is that where you bought a wardrobe? Was it the
Yeah.
Masters?
I had to go and buy a clothing rack.
Yeah. That's a good thing. I kind of wanted to do that.
But
Once I
in
heard
my
you did it.
defense, my hotel room didn't have a closet, so
And you had to do like outfit changes
Yeah,
because
she
you're on
had to
camera.
do. Yeah.
I was
everything,
bringing
stuff.
3
Yeah,
she had
outfit
to-
changes
she
a
had to bring
day
them.
to Augusta.
Oh my God.
National.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I showed up in denim shorts, I didn't know you could do that.
And I took your photo, remember?
That's right.
You did not wear
I
denim
did-
shorts, Mel.
Yes.
And you were recognized, you said, when you were walking in.
Yes, I was recognised by a man. Yeah. Not my usual clientele, but it was fun.
Mel
Yeah,
has
even
more of the
Cassette was
older
shocked.
lesbian community after her.
That's what she told me.
Cargo
Yeah.
shorts, they're my vibe. Yeah, well, they were white denim shorts. You could really tell.
Yeah,
that's fine.
You can wear white denim at Augusta.
Can you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Because Kevin had a go at me. Well, not a go at me, but he brought it up. Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, I can't believe you're wearing a denim." I was like, "I do what I want, babe."
Yeah, especially like white jeans are always part of my rotation there.
Okay. So I wasn't. Legal,
I wouldn't wear
so.
them if you were there to play or be a guest, but I think
Right.
at the Masters.
Well,
it's
understand. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
Just saying.
Yeah.
So you guys are at Erin Hills this week, and I already had a chance to talk to Mel about who she likes, what her picks are, what her storylines are. So Claire, what are your big storylines that you are tracking from kind of your perspective,
Yes.
the golf.com perspective?
I'm very intrigued by Yanni saying.
Oh, she's actually playing all right.
Yeah,
today.
she was
Yeah.
1 under when I last checked. So I just think her story is really cool.
Yeah.
And then the amateurs, I think Lottie Woad, she's off this afternoon. I don't know when she's off.
I love Lottie.
Just because, and I interviewed
she's
her
great.
for the Scoop at Anwa. So, and she was with Kira Romero for that. So I think those two as well. I'm really interested. And they're just like 26 amateurs in the field. I think it's really cool to see.
Do you want to know something fun? Fact. There's there's nobody in their 40s at the US Men's Open this year. There's one person that's 52, Lita Lindley. But everyone else is in the oldest player is like 38 or
Young
something.
crew.
Dude, the average age is 24 this week. Did you hear that though? Yeah, there's one person in the 50s, no one in the 40s, and the average age is like 24.
Yanni's what, 37, 38?
36.
Oh, 36.
Yeah.
Sorry. She's younger.
But she's not made a cut in like years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
the first
it's a
one
good
I-
story, yeah.
yeah,
And she's
yeah.
actually
How
really
did she
good.
qualify?
Yeah.
She qualified through a 5-way playoff, didn't she, in Arizona? Yeah, she actually qualified.
Yeah, her press conference was great yesterday. She said they were asking her about the yips or something, and she was like, I thought my hip surgery would have fixed that, but it wasn't brain surgery.
Yeah.
Like, just like so funny.
Yeah, she's good.
Aw.
They're going to be really good stories. I'm going to
Yeah.
look forward to them.
Shall we wrap up with the shush of the week? Is there anything
Yes,
else before we go to that?
please.
Mel,
Yes,
that
I
you-
like
that you're
this.
burning to ask.
You guys go first.
Well,
Alright, I
I
gotta
don't
think.
have one. I think that we're just gonna have Claire do it. Alright,
So
we
it's
can
something
think
I
of-
want. I was thinking about this in the airport the other day. I just don't like, there should be 2 lines at the airport. I think it's like, if you don't know, and I think it's because we travel so much, like when someone's like taking their time to like get
Security.
I'm like, hurry up.
Yeah.
It makes me mad. And then I'm standing there, and I think that's when I lose my patience. And I try and be like, I just read Let Them by Mel Robbins. I'm like, let them take their time. But on the other hand, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, and like the girl in front of me in Boston the other day, like she has the belt on, so she has to hop out. And she's like, oh wait, my phone's in my pocket. And I'm
Wait,
like,
I've got a bottle of water in my bag.
please act like you've been here
Yeah, I
before.
know.
It's
Yeah.
humiliating. Like they shouldn't have TSA. I think.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have pre-check, actually. You should only have pre-check if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know how
That's
you
fair
get pre-check if you don't know what you're because you have to have
Yeah, that's true.
some
I didn't get it until like last
semblance of
Yeah.
knowing how this whole airport thing works.
So you just wait forever?
Well, I go in the premium line.
You don't have
I have
pre-check?
status. No. What's that? Is that the TSA?
Oh my God.
Do you have global entry?
No. I can't get global entry because my visa.
Oh.
And I don't think I can get pre-check.
Oh, really?
But someone said I can't do it because I don't have an American passport.
So if there's a long line, you just, or how do you get into the premium one?
Because I've got status with Delta.
Oh, okay.
So I just
you're
cruise on through.
Yeah, no, you're
I also bullshit my way through.
fine. Okay. That's inspiring, honestly.
it's just
I
in
do
life
it.
in general.
Just life in general.
Yeah. I think I don't have like any like really fiery take about things that need to be shushed. I think that's my big one. That's the only thing that's really irritated me this week.
You know what's funny? I think that we all say travel things constantly because we travel
Yeah.
a lot, and I get enraged by travel things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, while we're airing our grievances, this isn't really a shush thing, but I think the media centers need to have a freezer. A lot of media centers don't have a freezer. So when I'm filming a scoop, the ice cream gets melty.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a great point.
yeah.
I think that media
freezer just for
centers
you.
should also have microwaves so that I can bring my own stuff to reheat.
I like
And
that.
a fridge
time they
for
didn't
you to
let
be
me
able
bring
to
in my own
food.
put your lunch away in so that you can bring your own
Yes.
lunch and put it. And that is because most media centers lunch this isn't calling anyone out specifically, but just
Yeah.
it's really not great for you to eat that food.
It really smells in there.
Yeah, it does.
I had to walk through it to come to this amazing
Okay,
studio.
well, Mel is calling somebody out specifically, so we know.
Well, it smells in there. Like the food smells
Yeah.
weird. It's in like a weird. I don't like tents anyway. I don't like the smell of tents. So
Yeah.
I don't like the smell of things.
Mel has some very specific
I started
needs.
bringing I'll bring like my own snacks now. But last year I was at an event and they told me I couldn't bring my own food in. But I told them I had life-threatening allergies, which isn't true.
done.
And they let me
Well
bring
done.
it.
See, bullshit.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bullshitter loves a bullshitter.
Exactly. I'm thriving over here.
Claire, are you a let them theory person?
I'm working on it.
I don't know that I
sometimes
fully
think-
subscribe to the let them thing.
No, fully. Yeah, I fully am kind of like there.
Do you know what we're talking about, Mel?
My
No.
Claire, will you explain?
Mel
her?
Robbins, this like influence. You would probably. I shouldn't say she's
Mel
like,
Robbins, isn't she the one that's like, don't think, get
yeah,
up?
yeah. So she started this. I don't even think she started it, but she wrote this book about like let them. So like if you were pissing me off, instead of me trying to be like, can you stop? I'd be like, I'm just gonna let her do that. And I think it has helped a little bit because I tend to like someone doesn't do something the way I think. This is mostly like my siblings.
Right.
And I'll call my dad and he's like, well, they just called me complaining about you and now you're calling complaining. He's like, just let them. It's
There
fine.
you go.
So yeah. But I love when like, have you seen those TikToks where they're like, oh my gosh, this guy stole my car. Let him.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. There's definitely a line. to
I'm
the
gonna
let them.
dive into that this afternoon.
You're like, my husband cheated on me. Let him. Like,
That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna deep dive into this. Oh dear
Oh,
me.
amazing. Okay. Last thing, Claire, we mentioned this a little bit before. There's so many people that would love your job, that want to get into your position, that want to do the things that you've done in golf or in sports. Any advice out there, your top 3 things to keep in mind as you're trying to chart your way into this funny little world of ours?
yeah, I think be yourself. I mean, I know that's like a stupid thing everyone says, but like I think for so long I was like, okay, like I see these successful people in golf doing it this way, and like I'm a little different than that. Should I try and do that? And I think my best work has been when I'm just fully being myself, number 1. Number 2, kind of like shoot your shot, DM, LinkedIn message. I'm really bad at checking my email. So if you ever want to reach out to me, just DM me, don't email me. Actually,
Don't
I want
email
to
her.
shush emailing. I hate emails.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do like one email a day and I'm exhausted. It really drains me.
No, this is so bad. Look at I put on don't disturb.
She has 612 emails and
No!
there's another
Oh my God, that gives me
which is
so
no,
much
that's
anxiety.
Kira's worst nightmare.
Yeah. I can't do it. Like, just don't email me. And then my third piece, this has been the biggest thing I also think, like, go to the little thing. Like, sometimes I think, and I used to be guilty of this too, like, someone might be like, oh, there's this little thing happening, you should come. And I'm like, why? I don't really want to go to that. Like, it's not a major, or it's not, these big names won't be there. But I think that, like, you have the best chance of like getting to know someone at those things.
Yeah.
I've gone to the Berenberg Invitational a handful of times. And the first time I went, I was like, well, like, I don't know. These are like older guys. I don't know their stories as well. And that's when I think I've done some of my best work as well. So like the little things are worth your time too. So
It's great advice.
Love it. Claire, thank you so much for joining us. We've been
Yes.
trying to get you on for a while, and we just are huge fans of yours and think you're doing amazing stuff, and super proud of you. And
Thank
sure,
you.
we will
Thanks
have to
for
have you on
having
again
me.
soon to give us updates on
Yes.
all the things.
Perfect. This was so fun. Thanks.
Yeah, no,
And it was so fun to be in person.
Our
Nice
first
team on that corner.
in-person
I was like-
guest.
I was like, whoa, she's here. And so, yeah, it was a bit of a shit show, but we did it.
We did
managed
it.
So we are a very professional podcast over here. So I do
Yeah,
enjoy
we're
it.
super profesh.
I love it.
All right. Have fun at
Um,
Erin Hills, guys. I'm jealous I'm not there
Thank
with
you.
Bye.
Bye.